A sea of orange here in Washington, D.C.'s Anacostia Park for a gathering of activists, politicians, and community members seeking to honor survivors of gun violence.
And it's to raise awareness about gun violence, which we know is at levels that are unacceptably high in our country, in our cities, in our communities. Particularly in Washington, D.C., we have seen a spike in gun violence. Last weekend, 14 people were shot, 4 of them were killed.
The Wear Orange campaign was conceived following the shooting death of a 15-year-old girl in 2013, 1 week after performing in President Obama's second inaugural parade. Her classmates chose to honor her life by wearing orange, the color that hunters in the woods wear to protect themselves.
I was on the scene of a triple shooting just the other day where there were bloody pants left on the street, blood still on the sidewalk from a shooting, and neighbors were walking by it. That tells me that there's a level of acceptance, and that's unacceptable.
To be successful, a movement must go beyond raising awareness to focusing on measurable results, according to American University's Steph Woods.
When you look at the fact that since Parkland, 14 states have tightened or passed gun control legislation, and 19 companies have cut ties with the NRA, that shows that this is a tipping point of sorts, but how do we continue the momentum of this movement? And that's where there needs to be that focus on continued deliverables, continued action items to show measurable results.
The Anacostia gathering featured a table where people could register to vote, and political aspirants were on hand to discuss initiatives. But for some attendees, the sense of community was most important.
I think in some ways it's a celebratory event where so much of the other work that we do is very organized and focused and lobbying and so forth. Here it also gives us a chance to connect with each other.
This event was one of hundreds of gatherings, rallies, barbecues, and marches taking place from June 1st to 3rd across the U.S.
Hi, everyone.
Jill Craig, VOA News, Washington.